Good evening, Rotarians and guests.
Yes, good evening. How are you?
I take the honor of welcoming everyone who is joining in now in our respective sitting rooms, dining rooms, cars, hotels, wherever we are. You're all welcome to the Rotary Club of Kasese every Tuesday. We normally meet at Margarita Hotel, but right now we are live on Zoom. Also physically, I can see some members here who are online and Rotractors, interactors who are able to join us, visiting Rotarians. Once again, you're welcome. We'll be having a guest speaker tonight who will be sharing with us on how to recruit and probably extend and retain the members that are already in our clubs, and looking outside there to other potential members. And all those strategies can help us to grow Rotary more. I'm glad our guest speaker is already in the house. Rtn Hamza, fellow Rotarians and guests, allow us to officially start our fellowship. We are going to have the grace by Rtn Hakiza. We having the loyal toast from Rtn Joseph Agaba. May we be upstanding for the grace wherever we are.
Thank you very much, Madam President, for all that we have received and what we are about to receive. May we be truly thankful. And as we deliberate during today's fellowship, well, let us keep in mind the needs of the less privileged.
And Hakiza, we quickly go to Rotarian Joseph, who is going to give us the loyal toast.
Good evening, Rotarians and guests. Kindly join me in the loyal toast. To His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. And cheers. Thank you very much. I know members will not be able to see my bottle of water that I have shared up with, but I know you shared somewhere you are with another Rotarian or a guest or your family member. As you know, and you are aware that we are in the Rotary Extension Month, we implore you and encourage you to bring on board your family members, relatives, friends, so that they really get to understand what Rotary is all about, and at the end of the day, be able to pick interest and join Rotary to give service to the community, and of course, growing membership of Rotary. Today, speaking to you right now is Rotarian Rona Itungo Immaculate. I am currently the AG Western Zone 3, and I'm directly in charge of 4 clubs. That is the Rotary Club of Kasese, the Rotary Club of Kasese, the Rotary Club of Kasese Snow Peaks, the Rotary Club of Ivanda, the Rotary Club of Kabarole, and the Rotary Club of Fort Portro. Actually, there are 5. Thank you very much, Pastor Rangero, for reminding me about that. And right about now, allow me to welcome all the members that have joined in from the different clubs. Specifically, the Rotary Club of Kabarole, the Rotary Club of Ivanda, the Rotary Club of Fort Portro, the Rotary Club of Kasese Snow Peaks, and the many other clubs like the Nsanjis, as they will be appreciated at the end of the day. And I'm sitting in for President Rebecca, who is not feeling well, but I'm sure she is with us online, and she sends greetings to all of you and welcomes you for having kept time and accepted to join us this evening to have a fellowship with you. We are here to learn from you, and we are here to share from each other, because on the journey of Rotary, it is all about sharing ideas, learning new ideas, and continuous learning, because learning does not end. That being said, it allow me welcome Rotarian Rangel, who is going to introduce our guest speaker, because I don't want us to have a lot of time talking this and that about Rotary, yet we have a guest speaker in the house who is going to talk to us about an inciting topic. And Rotarian Rangel.
Thank you, President of tonight, Assistant Governor Rona, Rotarians, and Rotaractors and guests. Allow me to introduce our guest speaker. Our guest speaker is a graduate of medical epidemiology from McGill University, International Health Sciences University, and Kansas State University in the USA. He is a senior medical epidemiologist working with the Ministry of Health Uganda and the Infectious Diseases Institute, IDI, as a national health platform coordinator. Our speaker this evening is a member of the National Task Force for COVID-19 Uganda. He oversees the control of zoonotic diseases, biosecurity, stock biosafety, and antimicrobial resistance, AMR, as one health global threat. He is the focal person for Ministry of Health Uganda at the Africa Center for Disease Control, Africa CDD. He's a Global One Health Fellow. He's a Global One Health Policy Expert. He's an infectious disease researcher, author, and has published peer-reviewed papers in scientific journals like The Lancet, Nature, PLOS 1, PLOS1. He has also developed an individual-based network, medical for control of Rift Valley fever, the first of this kind in Africa, and published paper on the journal called PLOS, PLOS 1. He's a proprietor of Mahi Public Health Dimensions and Anil Healthcare Initiatives. He's also a board member of Uganda Kingdom Health Fraternity. He is a businessman dealing in tiles, SM Tiles Mart, director of Destiny Forex Bureau, and director at Signature Suites Hotel. He is an ardent rabbit farmer. He is a regional membership coordinator for District D9211. He has authored a book of the title, My Rotary Transformational Ideas. He is a father of 3 children. Our guest speaker is also a chairman of the Rafters Fellowship that is being registered with RI. Members, join me to welcome our evening speaker, Rtn Hama Musa Hamza Sekamate.
Wow. Whew. How can I describe that? You're most welcome, and thank you, Rotarian Rangel, for that mega introduction of our guest speaker. I really am very expectant of so many things. We are ready to listen in and ready to learn more. And of course, I know you'll be able to share about that vast experience in those so many things, and how you have gotten up with that key skill of multitasking in all those activities. Rtn Hamza, you're most welcome to the Rotary Club of Kasese. I don't know whether you have been to Kasese before, but thank God to COVID that you are now here, not physically, but online. Nonetheless, we are very sure that since the interest has been clear and it is mutual, one day you will come to physically visit us in Kasese, as we also plan to visit you. Before we allow the guest speaker to speak, may I request every member online kindly share in the names of your club such that we are able to recognize you and appreciate you for your support. I thank you very much for your cooperation. Rtn Hamza, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, AG. And to put the record straight, I am always in Kasese because Kasese is one of the hotspots for EVD. Friends, I'm very happy to share with you my experience this evening. And I also want to thank each and every one of you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. You chose the right person because I am the regional membership coordinator for District 9211. The opportunity here, and I also have a couple of friends. I've seen my fellow RMC Rotarian Dennis Mugara is online all the way from Kabarole. Good to see you. But friends, we need to dive quickly into the subject of the matter this evening, and the subject is about membership growth. Very many people are asking me questions. What is the title of the presentation? But we decided to be unique. We decided to employ transformational ways, and we decided to mix French with English. But for the first word, really, it means club. And then the last word there on the title clearly talks about growth. So what are those core things we are looking out for in terms of seeing clubs grow is what we are going to discuss this evening. There is quite a lot that has been going on, and for purposes of us appreciating where we have come from and where we want to go, is to first of all know who we are. And the moment you know who you are, it becomes very easy to know where you're going. And where you're going is, the ability for you to execute projects, when they come around. I know that the Rotary Club of Kasese is a very, very vibrant club and very experienced in a number of ways. But it is also important for us to remind ourselves of what, we are here to do. So we are basically here to serve, and Rotary equals voluntary service as we wait for the presentation to come on. And friends, service above self is what Rotary is about, and most notably is for us to put others first. And when we put others first, we can never fail to make a difference in lives of others. And that also is coupled with asking ourselves great questions. It changes the way how we look at things, and in the process we are transformed as individuals. If the presentation is not there, it is still okay. We can flow with
the presentation is there, Rtn Hamza.
It's okay. We can just continue listening in. As friends, I was telling you about service above self. It's what Rotary is about, and we are only looking at putting other people first. But here, this evening, we are seated on what we call the treasure of membership. The treasure on trying to make membership, increase from just the mere 1.2 million to about, double the number at about 2.4. But the problem is, what are we doing that is not right? And I felt that I should share with you the membership at a glance. And like John Jam said, John Jam is the Rotary International past president, I think 2015-16. He said that Rotary's biggest challenge is membership, and we need to expand our memberships so that we can do more. There's no way we are going to do more if the membership drive is still low. Sam Owori, one of my mentors, who you all know very well, once said that having been in existence for over a century and the boasting of a membership of less than 1% of the world's population clearly shows that the Rotary family is below its potential. But friends, is it what we want? Why are we in a situation of crawling when we should be able to run? It is socially unacceptable for a person to keep crawling when they should be walking, or walking when they should be running. Even running is mediocrity when the person has the ability to fly. The quick question I want to ask is, as Rotarians, where are we? Are we still crawling when we should be flying? And that's where the topic of the discussion is. We are busy crawling, and yet we should be flying. Getting people together is one thing, but also executing the TORs for us to engage them is another thing. Now, great Rotary clubs, great Rotarians engage people. And engagement has to be human because people trust people more than the brands. It is also important for us to note that, if we want to build a better world, and that is the new page, if we want to build a better world, we have to awaken the souls of our Rotarians to their own potential and to the longing inside each and every one of us. That was said by Barry Raisin. We are probably out there as Rotarians, but we are failing to do the right things in order to, to support our own clubs. And in that way, we are not increasing the membership. We are still stuck. And in any case, if you look at statistics, you will realize that it is even less than 1.2 million at the outset. But we also need to appreciate the fact that there are many places which need Rotary and the numerous potential members who have never been invited. But the problem is you, the Rotarians, who got in and you closed the doors. Now, if you go straight to the slide which talks about leadership, if you scroll quickly and you get the slide which has leadership, and this is where we need also to, to give focus. Now, leadership in Rotary is one thing to, to steer up. So who are the leaders? What is the role of these leaders? And what is the mandate of these leaders? There's a couple of echoes that are coming in. I think we need to mute some. What are the types of leaders that we are looking out for, and how do we characterize these leaders? Transformational leaders are inspirational. Transformational leaders are team players. And in my opinion, I call them team first attitude. They are visionary. They have the ability to tolerate risk. They have very good communication skills. They are loyal. They are full of empathy. They encourage, and they are positive. Now, once the leadership of a particular club has been able to surround themselves with such great descriptions, the issues of pessimism are going to die, because the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, and the optimist sees opportunity in every difficult. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we avoid issues of pessimism. But the leaders of today and the leaders of tomorrow, for those who are looking at developing clubs, for those who are looking at increasing membership, should be able to be, have the ability to take on the descriptions that we just mentioned above. Be inspirational. It costs nothing for you to inspire. Have the ability to have empathy. Encourage, be positive. A lot of negative energy is within us, but most notably is we don't want to get in situations where we only want to focus on this negative energy. Negative energy brings issues of interest. And if you want to be interested first. So be interested in having positive energy. At the end of the day, you're even going to encourage your members, and they're going to end up being satisfied with the way you run, the club, but also your leadership style. And in one way or the other, we are going to end up increasing the membership. But again, as we find better ways of increasing membership, having growth, the number of steps, there are a number of issues that come up to point out the negative energy. People will always tell you it cannot be done if you went to the next question. And others are going to tell you that it's not worth, it's not worth doing. And others will tell you all sorts of things as you continue. Why you of all people? And especially to those people who have exhibited talents in transforming society and in transforming others as leaders. Now, when you look out and support other people, you end up transforming yourself as an individual, but you also end up encouraging and supporting others. If we go to the next slide that we have just talked about, here we have the pedagogy of transformational ideas. And there's quite a number of things that we look out for. Most people are talking about Rotary has a particular culture, which culture we cannot change. I agree, absolutely, that's right. Let's go to the next slide. I agree completely. But friends, we're not looking at fighting the old. We want to focus our energy, not fighting the old, but building on the new. What is out there that is old, that we've been doing for the past 116 years, that has stagnated us at 1.2 million? Is it the way we treat the Rotarians? Is it the way we treat the potential Rotarians? Is it the cultures that we have in our clubs? Is it the ideal of I know more? What is it that we are not doing very well? Some already said that optimism is what brings us to Rotary. But Rotary is not a place for those who are only dreamers. It's a place for those with the ability, capacity, and compassion for fruitful service. What are we looking at? Like Steve Covey always says, the end in mind is having membership increase. The end in mind is making sure that all members are happy. And when you talk about membership growth has a couple of arms. It does not only look at the club growth, it also focuses on the international arm, the international arm of growth, but also has a component of the ability, the capacity for you as an individual, or the capacity for the club to be able to attract other members into the club. And in that way, we are looking out at different ways of doing things. We have been doing the same old things. If I asked you, what is that we have been doing for the past 116 years that has stagnated us at 1.2? We might probably fail to have an answer, but the answers are clear and they are within us. We have not done the right things. If we have done the right things, we have not done enough. We need to do much more. We need to appreciate people. We need to encourage people. We need to choose out good ideas because, don't be afraid of good ideas. Be afraid of old ones. Those old ones will keep you where you are and stop you from growing. But most importantly is we are looking out for awakening the souls of our Rotarians. And at the end of the day, you'll find the vibrancy has increased, and very many of them will work out a plan of making sure that they support the club. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, like Mahatma Gandhi. And this still goes back to the leaders, and leaders don't create followers, they create other leaders. Now, the leadership component is very important in terms of membership growth. Leaders are not supposed to be criticizing. Even when there's something negative, you always have to find a way around it to make sure that it doesn't make you feel that you're exerting what we call positional leadership on someone. Leaders always find a way. You can have anything you want in life if you just have, if you just help enough people to get what they want. And this is the leadership that we are still talking about here. Leaders are supposed to be, very good listeners. We talked about empathy. And this is one thing that we are lacking, or we have missed out over time. But friends, the most important slide is that one. That is going to describe, that is going to tell us, those wonderful ways that is going to bring out an issue of membership growth as of when, why, and how. Now, we're talking about increasing membership, but have we thought about taking care of people? I read somewhere in a book that was saying that take care of people, the products, and the profits in that order. Now, who are the people? The people are us, the Rotarians. And what is the product? The product is service. And then, you know, what is looking at the profit? You can name the profit as, you know, as it goes. But what are those small, simple things that we have not done right that we hope if we did, they'll be able to help us increase and realize membership increase and growth? Understanding your club members is very important, but also understanding the stakeholders is very important. I want to go slow there. Bill Gates says that I choose a lazy person to do a hard job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it. Now, we are in clubs, and most of us are very good at paying dues. Wonderful. But in terms of service, we are very inactive. And the big question is why? It will still go back to us as individuals in terms of realizing and looking at our personality, but also as the leadership of the club. If you've identified such a person, how are you going to help them realize their strengths? Give them particular tasks. Ask them to accomplish these tasks. Encourage them. Show them the way. This is what we have to do. To handle yourself, you know, you use the head, but to handle others, you have to use the heart. Have empathy. We have talked about empathy. And friends, tell your story. I have told people so many times to tell the outside world their story. When you're in Rotary, you join Rotary for a reason. There are a number of reasons why we all join Rotary. And if you asked the top 20 reasons by Richard D. King why we join Rotary, you're not going to miss out a reason for service, but also business development, leadership skills, fun, travel, name them. But what stories are we telling the outside world? Why haven't we put Rotary in the public eye? And when I was writing that book, I made sure that I focus on the core entity of Barry Raisin, the president, the past Rotary International president. He told us that if we want to increase membership, we need to go out there and put Rotary in the public eye. And the public eye in terms of having events that people are going to look out to, and people are going to appreciate and ask themselves, who are these? You're telling a story that people do not know. You're telling a story that people have not heard, but you're also telling a story of pride. As a Rotarian, you're telling a story of giving somebody who you will never get to see in this world. But think of the moment, the smile that you put on this person, who is probably somewhere in a war, fighting without a meal, getting into bombshells, and so on and so forth. We need to tell people our stories of where we have come from, where we need to go. I always tell people my story, how I joined Rotary, and how I rose to the ranks, and how I rose to the person I am today. A very humble story of a boy who grew up in Kawempe, from a very, very, very humble family, ramshackle family. I don't fear to talk about this story because this is me. But a boy who grew up with a mother who was a street vendor, a mother who went to sell clothes on the street of Mengo Hospital, a mother who went to downtown Owino to buy all these old clothes to make sure that the boy goes to school. And the boy is the one that is talking to you this evening. The story of this boy coming up, rising from wherever they came from, they are now telling you a story. They're telling you a story of how inspirational they have been, not only to the lives of others, but also to the lives of their family. Mother Teresa said that if you want to execute love, if you want to execute help, if you want to execute all these good values in you, you have to go there, go back and love your family. The family is the first place on which we have impacted our Rotary values. Now, when we start telling them our story of what we have done as Rotarians, of what we have been able to achieve as Rotarians, these people are going to be humbled by our story. If we told our story at our workplaces, in these Rotary weeks, like I've written in the book, people would want to be part of us. But people are not going to be part of us if we don't open up, if we don't tell them our stories, if we do not use new transformational ways of attracting people. And the other thing is strong public image. When we talk about public image is how you relate to public. Rotary has a brand for 116 years that nobody has ever thought of. Rotary has customers, and in this case, these are the Rotarians and the potential Rotarians that we have never got the opportunity to invite. Now, when you talk about public image, we need to build this image in terms of sports. We need to build this image in terms of agriculture, social media. Like some already said, each one bring one, simple things, but we are failing to do them. Maybe if we are doing them, but we are probably not doing them in the right way. Keeping a list of potential members, my dear friends, and this goes specifically to my very good friends. I have a couple of friends in Rotary Club of Kasese. I have Cookie, I have Assistant Governor Ranjeru, I have Agrippina, I have Grace, wow. I have a number of them. Wow. And I hope they're online. Please keep a list of potential members.
Well listening to you, and they are happy about
Wonderful.
Mentoring.
Wonderful. Keep that list of those potential members. When you go out there and build a brand, when you go out there and build a very strong public image, there are a number of people that you're going to attract there. When you go out there and conduct these projects, the best way to attract members when you're doing club projects is to put Rotary in the public eye. For example, don in your Rotary attire. Live by the Rotary values. Do things with brands of Rotary. It costs nothing for you to put on a t-shirt branded Rotary. Now, the passers-by, the stakeholders you're working with are going to ask themselves, who are these people? And in the end, you're going to end up attracting people to get into one of the biggest service organizations. But friends, let us avoid also the other component of recruiting. Recruiting is what has been Rotary's biggest challenge. We need to stop recruiting, but we need to start attracting. Every time I give a talk to particular clubs, I tell them a story of a young man dating a beautiful woman. Take an example. For lack of a better example, I am dating Cookie. Now, Cookie is the chick, I am the guy. Now, what do? I have to wake up very early in the morning, greet her, hello, Cookie, hi, baby, how are you? All those things that, guys do. I have to dress so nicely to make sure that she also has to dress nicely to make sure that she attracts me. I have to drive my beautiful car. It has to be clean all the time. And, all these sorts of things that we do, have these dinners, take them to Hawaii, buy them beautiful gifts, etc., etc. We might not be able to accomplish those. But just a simple text of checking on Cookie. Hi, are you well?
You may not come.
And then she'll also be happy and say, yes, I am well. And you get to build a story together. This is what Rotarians are missing out. We have failed to utilize simple transformational ways of attracting people. Imagine you've met someone in a supermarket, donned in your Rotary attire, and you exchange contacts. And you just tell them, hi, you have a nice shirt. You've already built rapport. You've already created, a niche. Now, when these people go back to their homes, they will start thinking about, that guy have a dagger much, for lack of a better statement in English. In that way, you're going to open up, and they're also going to open up, and you're going to end up selling your product. You're going to end up selling what you want. And what you want, what you're selling is Rotary. And the product that is coming out is service. Friends, we need to look at the young blood, fresh young blood. We have talked and written about all these things everywhere, but we are failing to make sure that we utilize the robustness, the aggressiveness, the proactiveness of the young Rotarians, who we call Rotractors. We need to devise better ways of using them to be able to attract and grow Rotary. They don't want you to only call them when you're having a project and you're going to ask them, take for me this document to the president to sign, run around and go and bring the banners. No, they want to plan with you. And they're the future of Rotary. If you do not plan with them right now, you're going to have problems of increasing the membership as we continue. Now, talking about Rotary everywhere you go, in the meetings that you have, talk about Rotary. Be proud. One of the top 10 reasons why people join Rotary is pride. I talk about Rotary everywhere I go. One time I was stuck in one of these airports in the UK. And guess what? The person at the immigration was, because I had donned my PIN, she was a Rotarian. And all of a sudden she comes around, she asks me, are you all right? I had forgotten my documents back in the hotel. But guess what she did? She gave me a quick police vehicle, got in the vehicle, drove back to the hotel about 20 miles away to pick the documents, came back, and boom, that was it. Talking about Rotary, having Rotary out there in the public eye is one of the things that will successfully increase membership. We have talked about partnerships. Every now and then, clubs and Rotarians have encountered different partnerships with different clubs, but also different individuals in the business world and the other entities. But friends, these partners that we always run to get monies for conducting our projects, to get, today Centenary Bank has given us 100 million. The reason why they are giving us this money is because we are continuously engaging them. Now, the business of running to people at the last minute should not be a priority for Rotarians. It is not going to increase, it is not going to attract people to be part of you, because they will be like this type of lady who is always asking for money from a guy, but when the guy asks them to come and visit them, they never turn up. But every time, please send me some money for your time. Please send me some money, my mother is sick. Please send me what. Pick me here and drop me here. For those people who do those things, I am not part of them. But when you ask them, can you come and visit me? Wapi? They never turn up, This is not what Rotary is supposed to be. Rotary is supposed to be having these engagements with the partners all the time, and in a holistic way, celebrating success with purpose and fun. Most people want to take Rotary as a very serious organization where people don't have fun, where people don't smile. My dear, no, the world has changed. Even in the top 20 reasons why we join Rotary, number 7 is fun. Some of you, many of you have traveled to these Rotary international conventions. You see the fun that is there. Every time I close my eyes, I cry and I miss out the convention of 2020, the one we were supposed to have in Hawaii. I had actually saved heavily for this to go and make sure that I have this fun, but man, it never happened. We need to look out for fun. We go out there and dance for fun. We have encountered and generated new things like the Laughter's Fellowship and comedy. We are out there to smile, laugh. We spend days, hours, serious in office. If you got me in my office, you would not think that it is the Haji who is always on Laughter's Fellowship, because the things I post are opposite of the person I am at work. Now, Where does this fund take us? This fund takes us to appreciating ourselves, believing in ourselves, but also putting the stress levels a little bit down. Now, once we do this, as we are celebrating out there, people are going to start asking, who are these guys out? When we used to go to Governor for the Dancing Rotarians Fellowship, we used to go donned in our attire. And everybody within Governor would start asking, who are these guys? And guess what? I personally attracted about 10 Rotarians. 7 were females, 3 were gentlemen. I don't know why the ratio went that way, but the rest is history. Today, they're all Rotarians. This is where we need to go. You know, the membership challenge game. I have told and I've spoke to a number of clubs. I've told them, have this as a challenge game. You know, this bring one, each one bring one. Make it competitive entirely for a year. My friend Ranjeru there will tell you that if Hamza chooses to do something, he will do it. If Hamza chooses that he wants to do something, he's going to execute it. Now, the task that I'm going to give the Rotary Club of Kasese, each and every one of you, just this Rotary year. I don't know how many are you. You're about 20 or 30 or so. Each and every one of you. You're how many?
We are 32.
32 now. I am tasking each and every one of you to bring just that one member. Have that challenge, compete about the challenge. And at the end of the day, we shall recognize you as individuals. For those of you who can do more than one, please do more than one. We shall recognize you. Recognition in Rotary is very important because there is no pay that you're going to get in, you know, in terms of executing projects, but also having activities done. But the ability for you to recognize others, appreciate others, is one thing that that we need to look out for. Have less meetings, friends. Do more service. Do more public events. The people out there want to know who you are. And everything that you do out there, do it with passion. Do it with compassion. Do it with love. Do it with the ability. Do it with the fact that we only looking at success and execution of membership attraction. Very many people want to be part of you, but they fear you. But when you go out there and you open up to them, you know, you do more of these public events. We are doing all these Rotary leadership forums. We are recognizing women in Rotary. We are having all these jazz functions. And you know, when we do all these adverts around, people want to be part of us. At the end of the day, you're going to attract more people and you're going to increase the membership. And in conclusion, friends, their loyal hearts, their spirits brave, and their souls that are pure and true, then give the world the best, and the best will come back to you. Thank you very much for taking time to listening to me. I know for sure that there is a couple of questions. I'll be very happy to answer these questions. And if there are no questions, bad story. That means that you've either understood everything or you've not understood a thing. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rtn Hamza. Oh, how can I describe this? You have really, the presentation was very, very clear. You are audible enough. We have heard a lot, we have learned a lot. And I surely believe that many of us outside there are burning with so many questions to ask, and they would really wish that Rtn Hamza should respond to whatever they would wish to know. Members, right about now, we are welcoming all your questions, the supplements, and any other issue that you may need to bring up in line with what Rtn Hamza has presented. Please, you're most welcome. I see very many members from the Laughers team. Surely you should be having something to either compliment Hamza Rtn Amos, you are allowed to speak.
Thank you, President. Thank you, Rtn Hama, for that nice talk. Very much appreciated. There's one thing I'd like you to touch up or to put some light on. It is something to do leadership. You talked briefly about leadership. I take it that in Rotary we are all leaders, but in a different capacity, because understand most of us are heads of our departments or leaders in our businesses, whereby the people below us come to us. But I feel that it's a different setting locally since we are leading volunteers. What is the best approach for you as a leader to go down to the volunteers in order to have them deliver what is supposed to be delivered? I submit.
Thank you very much. I would request that we have at least a set of 3 questions. If there are any other persons that would wish to ask you or supplement, so that Rtn Hama can do a 1 round. Rtn Rwanjeru, I saw your hand up.
Thank you, President Rona. Mine is just a comment that Musa never fails to praise me. And I'm so glad that, because I will not give a vote of thanks, I'm so glad that he accepted my invitation and he has come with a number of laughers escorting him. Musa, your presentation was very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you for praising Cookie.
And thank you for praising Cookie.
Okay. If there is no any other question, Musa, you can respond to the first question when it is still.
No, mine is a compliment.
Okay.
Okay, please.
Yes, this is the PP David Machindi.
Okay.
And I'm always very happy to fellowship with Kasese. I actually want to compliment our presenter. He has talked about what Rotary is. Those are the values of Rotary and Rotarians. I'm happy that this COVID thing has taught us so many things, because we have had very good presenters, and one of them is Rtn Hama. And I was very humbled when he said that, my mother was struggling to get school fees by selling from the street. That one touched me.
Very true.
Rtn Hama, thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you very much. I can see Rotarian Dennis Mugara.
Thank you very much, Girona, for giving me the opportunity.
Yes.
I would like to thank my brother Rtn Musa for that very inspiring talk. It was very enriching. What I would like the presenter to throw more light on is the problem we seem to face in upcountry clubs of retaining members. What does he think we should do a little bit more to make sure that the attrition of members is reduced? And secondly, what do we do when we know that a very worthy Rotarian has left? How can we attract them back? Thank you very much.
Thank you, PAG Dennis, and surely it's a very pertinent issue. Thank you for raising it. If there is no anyone else, ladies and gentlemen, let's allow Musa to respond to these questions.
Presiding President, I have an issue to ask.
Go on.
Hello.
Hello,
yes,
we are listening to you. Go on, please.
Yes. Thank you, Madam President. Mine is an issue of, actually it is more related to the one that has just spoken, but it is the vice versa. You know, we have Rotarians who joined Rotary because they want to offer service, and sometimes when they find that there's more of fun than service, they kind of sit back, because there are some members who are like, we thought Rotary was a serious organization and they are time conscious, and you know, when there's a project, everyone will attend. Meeting, everyone has to attend, and if you don't, there's some kind of a penalty and all that. And yet we have those who are pulling out because we don't have enough fun. I just want to ask our presenter to throw more light on how to treat such members who are completely divergent. The other ones are extreme, want service. The other extreme want fun. How can we bring those two close and have both fun and service? Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, IPP Lillian. I hope Rtn Hamza has been able to pick the question that you have been putting forward. Let's give Rtn Hamza a moment to respond to these comments. Thank you, Rtn Hamza.
Thank you, Presiding President. I'll begin with the last one.
Yes.
That talks about extremism in terms of fun and service. Now, this question is very good and very important, but a brand for a company is like reputation for a person. You earn reputation by trying to do hard things well. All right? Now, while we are focusing on these two ideas, we need to also pull out a pragmatic thought which talks about us as people, but also the organization that we serve. We don't want to dwell on what we think has gone wrong. Instead, we want to focus on what to do next. And I always tell people that spend your energy on moving forward towards finding the answers. Now, going forward towards finding the answer to this is still, something that will take us back to the top 20 reasons why we joined. We can only blame ourselves for the reasons as to why we joined, but we cannot blame or criticize or even look at into why other people, joined Rotary. If you look at the fun component, it's part of the top 20 reasons. If you look at service, it's also part of the top 20 reasons, which clearly tells us that it's just a matter of an individual looking back and striking a balance. After all, as membership site, we are always focused on reducing charm and increasing satisfaction. And we know that collecting feedback from our customers, in this case, who are Rotarians, throughout the customer life cycle has allowed us to achieve both. So we probably need to go out there and ask our customers, us as Rotarians, what is it that we are not doing so well? What is that has gone to the extreme? What is that has not gone to the extreme? Now, when you strike a balance in between there, you'll be able to have an answer to this kind of issues. My brother Dennis, this question has come up over and over, and I know that he's very passionate as the regional membership coordinator for District 9211 in trying to look at exits and probably attractions in up-country clubs. Now, this is not only in up-country clubs, but even the clubs that are around. All clubs are struggling, individuals are struggling uniquely in all senses that might be different from each and every one of us. But like I said, most notably is realizing who you are. Putting Rotary in the public eye is very, very important, like Barry Racing said. I think for people who are out there and people who we have encouraged, people who we have inspired, will not have a reason actually to leave a club. But if someone has not found a reason why they should be able to stay in the club, you know, it is what we call a free exit room. We need to make sure that we support, we inspire, we encourage, and in this way we are going to end up supporting our fellow Rotarians. And one of the things they might not think about is exiting. Of course, notwithstanding the COVID-19 adverse effects of the finances and so on and so forth. But even when the finances are having a number of challenges, there are those things that are going to tie people to be able to know why they should stay. The other thing, you know, goes back to leadership. Now, if you're a leader, and I know that most of us are leaders, he said it very well. If your actions inspire others to do more, learn more, and do more, and become more, then you're a true leader. And if you're a true leader, you must find innovative ways to do things differently. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Now, the leaders of today are getting into a number of leadership behaviors, leadership styles that are bringing out issues that might not directly be fitting into the lifestyle of most of us, the potential customers or the Rotarians in the making. We need to appreciate and find good leadership and good souls within ourselves, because a good leader leads the people from above, while a great leader leads people from within them. Identify these good leaders. Look at yourself as an individual. If you cannot have followers, if you cannot have leaders, if you cannot have people that you've inspired, then there's going to be a problem even within your club. And the advice I always give them is first look out to the smallest niche, and that is your family. Why is it that every time daddy comes back home, everybody runs to the bedroom? Why is it that when Haji comes home, Cookie runs to the bedroom, or probably outside, or probably on their phone? There's probably something that needs to be done differently. And that pulls out the ideals of leadership, because leadership is the art of giving people a platform to exercise their mandate, but also their ability to lead. And the greatest leaders in this world, those are the leaders, those are the people who get others to do great things. So thank you very much, President. And if there are no any other questions, I can see it's 8 already. Thank you very much.
Oh, Hamza, thank you very much. If it wasn't for time, I think everyone would love to listen to you again and again and again and again. You're such a great speaker. I don't want to go into issues of giving vote of thanks. There is someone who is going to do that. But I really thank you for this super great presentation. We have learned a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, if we do not have any other questions, which I think really we can keep it at that, because Rtn Hamza has talked a lot, has shared with us a lot, that I believe that each of us—
A last one, President, a last one.
Oh my God, that has picked one—
a last one for us to take home.
Okay.
A last one.
Okay, okay.
Any woman who understands the problems of running a home will be nearer to understanding the problems of running a country. Thank you.
That one is super epic. Thank you. Rotarian Cookie is hearing. Rotarian Becky, she's online. Liz is here. She has listened for herself. I know every one of us has taken a very good lesson out of what you have spoken. Though time has not allowed all of us to share our moments and all our hearts of appreciation with you, but take it from me that at least every member who has listened in to you, Rotarian Hamza, is very content with what you have presented to them this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, let me allow the Rotarian Moving the Thanks to take up the floor and appreciate our wonderful speaker tonight. Rotarian Joseph Agaba. Unfortunately, it's a man. I wish it was a woman to appreciate Hamza. Rotarian Joseph.
Yes, thank you, sitting president, for giving me this opportunity. I want to appreciate Rotarian Hamza. This has been a wonderful evening for me, and I believe for other Rotarians, Rotractors, and guests. Please, Rotarian Hamza, don't take away my cookie. She's mine. But anyway, thank you very much. You have given us a wonderful insight, not only on membership, but what Rotary means in general. I hope someone was recording the presentation, because I would want to listen to it over and over again, because we rarely get such opportunities to listen to wonderful speakers. And I must appreciate Rotarian Rwanjeru, who is my mentor and also from my village. By the way, in our village, we are born laughers. So thank you, Rotarian Rwanjeru, for inviting Rotarian Hamza to present to us. And Rotarian Hamza, again, thank you for sharing your story. I believe we all have stories that we need to share, and probably we haven't got an opportunity to share them. Hopefully one day you guys are going to give me a moment to share my story. I've been inspired, probably in the next fellowship. So thank you so much. I wouldn't want to repeat any of what you said. I think it was clear, but I wish and I hope someone was recording so that we can relay this message again in our meetings, or even when we go back home. On behalf of the Bade Group Buffaloes, allow me to appreciate you once again, and I would request members of Bade Group to unmute and appreciate Rotarian Hamza. I don't know whether anyone knows the sound of a buffalo. I would want everyone to make a sound of a buffalo, because we are buffaloes. We are led by Rotarian Rwanjeru.
You already made that sound.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't want to say a lot. Please, I know we'll come knocking at your door. Please don't close the door for us. And as us young Rotarians, we want such inspiration talks, not only for Rotary, but as well as for our growth in other aspects of life. So thank you so much. And I really pray that God keeps you safe and you visit us physically in Kasese, and we fellowship together. Have a good evening.
Congratulations, President. Just one word.
Okay.
I'd like to inform all Rotarians present that Hamza has written a book, and I brought it out. And it can always be God, so that you read the whole story. And if you contact me, we can always give you contacts for Hamza.
Okay, thank you, Rotarian Ranger. We are right off going to contact you about that. I must assure you members that Rotarian Hamza's speech is a tempter. You will keep wanting to speak more and, probe into so many things, but let's not be tempted at this time. And that Rotarian Joseph, let me allay your fears. This fellowship has been well recorded, and this link will be shared with you as soonest. And also the presentation Rtn Hamza shared with us, we have it in soft copy. We can always share with you the same presentation and the link for the recording as well. I can see Rotarian Deo in the house. I don't know whether he wants to say 1 or 3 before I go to Rotarian the sergeant. But before the sergeant, you'll allow me to appreciate one of our partners who is here on the group and make a mention of a good move that we are yet to start on, that is in line with the project with our partners from Santa Cruz. Rotary and Dale?
Do you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear. Rotary and Dale, you have disappeared again. Okay, next time. Allow me, members, introduce Rotarian Peggy from the Rotary Club of Santa Cruz, Sunrise, California, who has always been with us on our online fellowship. We thank Corona for giving us this opportunity to always really link up with our friends, partners in service, and all those potential members who we can attract into Rotary life. We have moved from the word recruiting to attracting, thanks to Musa for his great training today. The Rotary Club of Kasese has been in partnership with the Rotary Club of Santa Cruz now for 5 years. We have been implementing a project to do with establishing a model village in one of the villages in Kasese district, far deep in is it Bukonzo East? Yes. And we have done a lot of activities in this particular village. We have ensured that we concentrate or coherence our efforts on promoting one of the focus areas of Rotary, that is water and sanitation. And we have really brought this village to a level that when you really go there, you will see the efforts that the Rotary Club of Kasese has been able to put on ground in partnership or with the support of the Rotary Club of Santa Cruz. We have been at the final stages of concluding our initial project, that was the extension of safe and clean water for drinking, and also promoting hygiene and of course good nutrition. We thank our governor for introducing our other area of fund where we are promoting that, and I'm glad that the Rotary Club of Kasese started promoting that way back. And the Ruawa village is among the villages that is already benefiting from that icon. And we are glad that that project is coming to an end. We are at the evaluation stage. But before that goes into the reporting mode, we also realized that with the model village, you cannot have a one-off project and you say the village is ready to be titled a model village as per se. There are a number of activities that keep coming on and that they really need efforts to make sure we reach that ultimate goal of surely making Ruawa a model village. We are yet to get into another second phase for the same project. And we are glad that this evening, Rotarian Peggy has been able to confirm with us that their international committee, after a number of consultations and planning meetings, that they have accepted that one of their fundraising dinners that they normally hold for water into wine, they have accepted to fund another second phase of the Ruawa project in Kasese district. I think, members, we should be really giving a round of applause for friends in Santa Cruz for always making efforts to ensure that we really serve our communities and give service above self. Rotarian Peggy, I'm allowing you to say 1 or 3 words to us and to our friends.
Only
who have
3
joined us in
words?
fellowship. Yes, please go ahead.
So unfair, President Rona. It is really a pleasure to join you all, and especially to hear President Rona's voice again. We've known each other now 6 years. So, and today we just an hour ago finished our international committee meeting, and again we had enthusiastic support to continue projects. We're going to be raising money this year for global grant number 2 in Luhuahua area number 2. And so happy to work with your club, especially, Rotarian Carol for doing a great job shepherding the project, but to work with all of you. And for us, the reward is that we get to know you better and make friends with many of you Rotarians. And so I feel very blessed that I'm getting to know some of you more and more over the years now, and looking forward to doing more together. Thank you for welcoming me.
Oh, thank you, Rotarian Peggy. Very brief and to the point. And you're always welcome for our fellowships. Invite other Rotarians to join in so that they can also get to know us more. And also share with other Rotarians who are always online and joining us in the number of fellowships that we are of late holding online. And we can't wait to really start implementing our second phase project. Thank you very much.
Yes, likewise, I also want to invite you Rotarians to our meetings online as well.
We really comply, and we normally say that we positively.
Actually, you are right.
BP Musinja, I can see you online. Do you want to talk something before I hand over to the sergeant? We are running out of time. Okay, thank you very much. That said, allow me invite our sergeant to perform this evening as we come to the end of our fellowship.
Okay, let me start afresh. We had the Rotary Club of Chila, Rotary Club of Arua Eco City, Rotary Club of Nsanji, Rotary Club of Kawarore, Rotary Club of Fort Poto, Rotary Club of Kasese Snow Peaks, Rotary Club of Jinja, Rotary Club of Kampala City, Rotary Club of Kajansi, Rotary Club of Kampala East, that is the Club of the Night, Rotary Club of Kampala North, Rotary Club of Lubaga Lakeview, Rotary Club of Machinde, Rotary Club of Boyogere Nambole, Rotary Club of Chico, and Rotary Club of Sunrise, Santa Cruz. Thank you so much, members. And Rotary Kasese, thank you very much for attending.
The Club of the Night, once again, is the Rotary Club of Kampala. Thank you very much, Sergeant. And we are going to have Rotarian Kate to give us the final toast as a member of the Buffalo team. Rotarian Kate?
Final toast. Rotarians, I give you Rotary International.
Rotary World over. Members, we are welcoming you for a cup of tea after fellowship, and you should not leave. We can really merry make and laugh a little before we leave, since we have a number of laughers here.